Hey all, this is Val here with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. And in today's video, we're going to be covering Lao Son, the Nature Monkey King. Alright guys, as you know, this is what I pulled way back with my Gleaming Stars. I had to do this as off stream as they were expiring, I believe on a Wednesday or Thursday. And this guy popped out. I'm told he's really good for PvP and Guild Wars, you know, Arena, things like that. So we are going to actually try him out in PvE. We'll cover him in PvP in another video. I wanted to do it today, but we have a really scrub guild. I mean, they were talking like 2k BR. So, I mean, it's not really going to showcase what he can do. So we'll start with PvE and then we'll check our next Guild Wars and we'll see what we got. But you know how we do here. Let's hop into skills. So skill 1 is Nimbus Strike. Strikes enemies with his staff. Whenever he uses another skill, he becomes empowered, causing him to deal additional damage and leap to his target on his next attack. So basically, whenever he uses another skill, just like the snake ladies, this means you want to use skills as fast as possible, making Adept a good choice for him, because the more skills you cycle, the more often he will use his passive on skill 1. His first active skill, Overhead Toss. Flips target enemy over his head with his staff, deals damage, removes one buff from the target, and inflicts legendary silence. So we are talking about a single target, single buff stripper with legendary silence. This is probably why he's really good in Guild Wars, because you can go up to the AA or you can go to the VAMP and then you can strip them and silence them and they can't do anything. Remember, this is legendary, so it's easier to land and it cannot be removed. Also, I'll mention this is on a 4-second cooldown, so again, Adept's going to help you use this quite often, which again is going to proc your auto attack passive. His active skill 2, Monkey Tricks. This is on a 6-second cooldown. Leaps to location and balances on his staff, becoming invulnerable and untargetable for a few seconds before hopping off. When he falls, raises attack and damages nearby enemies with his staff. So we've all seen this in 5v5 from his red brother. We know how it works. Can be recast while balancing to leap in a new direction, dealing damage in a line. So again, this is on a 6-second cooldown, so Adept's going to help you because again, you use this faster, which means you get your procs from here faster. His third active skill, Tag Team, blows strands of his magical hair in a direction, summoning 5 clones of himself to damage enemies and knock them into the air. Damage dealt by clones ignores shields and ignores a portion of the enemy's defense. So again, we are talking about Guild Wars because and Arena, because AA is everywhere in there, and this third skill ignores shields, which means again we're looking for Adept because obviously the third is the longest cooldown. Also, you can see he does pick up 10% cooldown reduction twice in this, lowering this down to roughly about what, 15-14 seconds. So that is really good. Really actually about 15 seconds, about 15 roughly. Yeah, that's really good. So, and then you throw Adept on top of there, which is another, what is it now, 20%. So you can use this quite often. And then his synergy trait is accuracy of all ally champions is increased by 41%. Let's take a look at the gear I went, and surprise, I went with Adept Keen on this particular guy. I went attack, crit damage, attack, and then I went for crit rate, accuracy, and defense HP subs. Here's a look at my gear. If I went a little too fast, go ahead and pause the video and you can take a look at each individual piece. Here is his overall stats. You can see I'm about 31k HP, over 1k defense, 92% crit rate, 33% resistance, only 28% accuracy. I'm kind of banking on the legendary debuff, so hopefully it'll work. Maybe it won't. We've got about 140 crit damage and then about 1650 attack. Now I really did want more accuracy, but my problem is I didn't really get good substats on my gear, and I did not want to sacrifice the bracer killing his DPS for accuracy. Although if you are going to bank on the legendary silence, you will need to get higher accuracy than I have, and if you can't do that in subs, you will have to sacrifice the bracer. That would be your only option. Alright, so now let's take a look at this guy in, now again, we're going to look at him in EV10, but really where he shines is going to be PvP. So, you know, take these numbers we're going to see with a grain of salt, and remember, he is not really in his element here. So who do we pull out? Who do we pull out? If we pull out Malika, we're going to have very slow wave clears. If we pull out Kendrick, man, there's really no one we can pull out. We can pull out her. I mean, she's only level 50, right? She does give a haste buff. We're going with the attack lead, and we'll see how he does. Alright, and here we go. Let's target him, see what kind of hits he's putting out. 15k, not bad. 6k. See, that ability is actually going to hurt his DPS. You see how he stands up there? There's really was no one around. So think about that when there's a lot of enemies to be engaged and he used that ability. That's going to be missed out DPS. So that's another reason he's not really that great in PvE, because that ability does significantly impact his DPS. See if we can still pre-flight with him. We can when we have Rhoda in there. And the problem there was Caroline did not get out her ult in time. She had already used it right before the boss. You saw right as the boss took off, she used it, so it was wasted pretty much. I mean, I don't expect it to be spectacular. Again, that monkey stand just kills his DPS. It really does. I mean, you saw it. He just hangs there for a bit, hangs out, sees what's up, and it's dead. We'll take a look at his numbers. Minute 30. Okay, clear that out, and here we go. As you can see, I mean, only 188k. Kendrick really outdid him here, and again, it's going to be that monkey stand, because it comes up so often, right? He's just sitting there, and basically Malika and Washi are going to work clearing things. By the time he comes down, there's nothing left for him to kill. So a lot of their DPS is coming from wave clears. A lot of his is likely coming from the boss. If he didn't have that monkey stand, if you could like turn that specific ability off, likely he would have done a lot better. But that is why he's really good in Arena and Guild Wars, because when he's up there, he's not targetable, so you can't get debuffed, you can't get hit. When he comes down, he does AoE damage. So that's really good, right? Because he's avoiding all the nastiness. It also does mean, just like the Blade Masters, when they use their ult, that he will not get buffs when up there because he is untargetable. So there's that. But as you can see, I mean, he's not really the greatest PvE. He just isn't. I mean, it's not his particular cup of tea. He really does shine in Arena and Guild Wars. Now let's take a look at him again before we wrap up the video. Alright, so Lao Son, I really like him. As you can see from this video, he's not a PvE type of champion. That's not where you want to use this guy. You do want to use him in PvP, which is Arena and Guild Wars. While he can be used in PvP, I really don't recommend it. What you could do is, if you do want to go PvE with him, because say he's the best you've got, you want to gear him a way that, you know, maximizes his damage. I would say in this case, probably don't go Adept. Maybe go Mortal, so that way you're not getting the cooldown reduction and he's not using the monkey stand a lot, because that is where you're seeing a significant DPS loss. You can go like Mortal Keen on him, so that way he's not cycling that ability too fast. I mean, really though, you're not saving yourself a lot of DPS. I mean, yes, he's going to use it less often, but he's still going to get up there, and it's still going to be a DPS loss overall. Your wave clears will be slower, unless you have someone like a BM or you're running Rhoda or Sigrun to clear your waves for you and then have him start going to work on a boss. But then when you look at that, Rhoda and Sigrun is going to be a better combination than even putting him in your PvE team to begin with. But if you do want to use him, then don't go Adept, go Mortal, but then you're kind of gimping him in where he's strong at, which is Guild Wars. So my recommendation is not to use him in PvE, but to use him in PvP. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, or you know of a better build for him in PvE, go ahead and leave that comment down below. As always, thank you all for watching, and all you dudes and dudettes out there, stay frosty.